Well, shalom, my name is Todd Bennett, and I'm coming to you from under the Sukkot in Jerusalem. And today is day 7 of the Feast of Sukkot, often referred to as Hoshana Rabbah. And one very important lesson from Sukkot is the focus on rain. You know, this is a very interesting land because Elohim could have selected a land like Egypt with the Nile River, or a land like Babylon with the Tigris and the Euphrates. He could have chosen a great and mighty nation that had abundant provision of water. Instead, he chose this land, the land of Canaan, which required regular rains and consistent rains in order to grow crops and in order to provide water for people to drink. You see, they had no major source of water in this land, so every year was really an exercise in faith. Were they going to trust Elohim to provide for their needs? Were they going to trust him for the rain that they needed to gather the waters in cisterns and so they could have water to drink? Were they going to trust him to bring the rains at the right time for their crops? And so one of the big focuses of Sukkot is water, because right now they're running out of water in ancient days. The cisterns would have been almost dry, and things were getting really close to the point where they weren't going to have any water unless he provided the rain. So the focus during Sukkot would be prayer for rain. In fact, they developed a tradition of performing a water libation for the entire 7 days of Sukkot, where they would pour out water on the altar and pray for rain, and because they needed those first rains to come. Well, last night after sunset was the final day of Sukkot, the 7th day, the last great day of the feast, Hoshana Rabbah, the great salvation, some refer to it. And of course, that's when we really would like to see some rain after that point. And after sunset, it started to sprinkle a little bit. And throughout the night, there were consistent rains. So we now have the Yoreh, the first rains in the land. And it's a wonderful promise that he's given us. And you know, in modern days, we sometimes just don't get the significance of it. We turn on the spigot, we turn on the faucet, we turn on the shower, we get water on demand nowadays, and a lot of us don't even know where that water comes from. Well, the lesson of Sukkot is that we need to rely upon him to provide our needs in due time. And so we have the rains in the land at the time that's needed. They really can't grow the crops, the grain crops can't be planted until they get those first rains. So the timing of everything is very intricate in this land. And one of the signs that the people were acting accordingly to the commandments and following the ways of Elohim would be that he would consistently provide them with their needs. And of course, when they weren't, when they strayed away, that's when you would see famine come into the land. And the famine was a sign that the people were not being faithful to Elohim. So on this day, Hoshana Rabbah, may we remember that we need to trust him daily for our needs, and not get complacent because we have grocery stores and indoor plumbing and all that. But we need him every day to provide for our needs, whether we realize it or not. Sometimes we can get deluded by all the comforts and conveniences of modern society. But on this great day of the feast, may we remember that. I pray that we all remember, especially in the days to come, that we need to look to him as our provision every day. So I hope you take that with you throughout the day today, and as we proceed out of the sukkahs and into the 8th day, Shemini Etzeret, may we go forth from this feast remembering that he is our great provision. So Hag Sameach from Jerusalem, and Shalom.